Okay, class, so we're taking our quiz where they're asking us to match angles and sides of triangles. And if you remember in class, we said that the smallest angle of a triangle will match the smallest side of the triangle, and the biggest angle of a triangle will match the biggest side of a triangle, and vice versa. So if we look at our first question here, we have triangle MNP, and they gave us two angles of the triangle, and we know that a triangle has 180 degrees, so I was able to find out the third angle of the triangle. I added these two together, and I subtracted from 180, and I got 37 degrees. Since now that I have 37 degrees, I know that this is the smallest angle. And since it's the smallest angle, it's across from the smallest side. So the smallest side of my triangle is going to be side MP, or the distance from M to P. Then the next biggest angle from 37 is 63. And 63 is pointing to this side here, which is side NP, or the distance from N to P. And then finally, we can see that the biggest angle in the triangle is 80 degrees, and that's across from this side here, which is side MN, So I have the sides of my triangles from smallest to greatest, from the shortest to the longest. This is my shortest, this is the medium, and this is the longest side of the triangle. The second question asks us to list the angles from smallest to largest. They want us to list the angles from smallest to largest. But if you notice, they don't give us any of the angles. They give us the sides. So I'm going to use that information to find the sides of the angles. Well, we know what the relationship is. Since 7 is my smallest side, I know 7 is going to be across from my smallest angle. So I can see that angle K is going to be my smallest angle. The next biggest side is 8. And we can see here that 8 is across from angle L. So L is going to be my next biggest angle. And there it is. And then finally, I have 13, which is the biggest side of the entire triangle. And that's going to be across from angle J, which is going to be the biggest angle of the triangle. So really, my letters here should be K, L. I don't know why I put M there. I'm sorry. That should be letter J. So my smallest angle is K. My next biggest angle is L. And then my largest angle is J, across from the biggest side. Smallest side across from smallest angle. Biggest side across from biggest angle. Question number 3 asks us, what are the possible lengths of MN? What are the possible lengths of this side here? Well, we know that if I add these two sides together, it's going to be bigger than this side here by itself. As a matter of fact, if you add any two sides of a triangle together, it will always be bigger than the third. So these two sides here together are going to be bigger than this side here. I don't know how big this side is, but I know that it's going to be smaller than these two together. Well, if I add them together, 8 plus 5 is 13. So I know that MN is going to be less than 13. Now that I have the maximum size that it could be, I can also find the minimum size that it could be. Well, if I subtract them, 8 minus 5 is going to give me 3. So I know then that MN has to be bigger than the difference of these two, bigger than 3. So I can say that MN is smaller than 13, but bigger than 3. And that is our quiz where we match the angles of triangles.